Greetings and welcome back to another episode of, well, kinda, it's more like a stopgap to me because the Donkey Kong 64 video is still coming up because still we have to work on most details, especially on the recording on the footage of the gameplay, so that's why it's been inactive, of course. As a result, I wondering if I can put a video of a stopgap, and I think, yeah, I can do it. So as a result, I got the idea to make a video. Meanwhile, Donkey Kong 64 is working on it. So in this case, I'm gonna review a launch title for the Super Nintendo, F-Zero. Why this game? Well, for any cases, launch titles are games that were released right at the launch day of the console. Let's say this, the NES. It started with, if I'm not mistaken, 17 titles. I put the exact number in case I might get it wrong. So I'll put the numbers right in front of the description so you can see it. Well, 70 titles, I believe. I don't remember all the games of NES, but I remember a handful of them. Bubble Fight, Excite Bike, Wrecking Crew, Golf, the Super Mario Brothers, Stack Up, Gyro, and it goes on. I don't remember very well. I'll put the names so you can tell because I don't remember very well, unfortunately. But yeah, the NES has a lot of launch titles. And then you have the Sega Genesis, which it has a launch title of many classic games, including Altered Beast. That was the packing game. On the Super Nintendo, in total were 5 launch titles of Nintendo, I believe. 4 of them are Nintendo and 2 of them are third parties. Super Mario World, this game right here, Halo Wings, SimCity, which is the port of the PC game SimCity by Will Wright and Maxis. Those are Nintendo. The other titles that aren't Nintendo, that launch titles, those are Final Fight, and that's from Capcom. And the other game is Super Castlevania 4, I believe. I'll put a video or classic game quarterly of the launch day of the Super Nintendo and the controversial of the Super Nintendo. Trust me, it was, because back then consoles were not backwards compatible. It's moving forward, and there was a lot of trouble with it. It was the beginning of the console war of the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. I'm not gonna go into that. That will be another topic that will be really fascinating as a result. So back on topic. So this game was the launch title of the Super Nintendo, and I really adore this game. This is the first game that I ever played of a racing game. As I mentioned before, when it comes to racing games on early consoles, my favorite taste on racing games the old days was Outrun and Pole Position. Outrun was by Sega and Pole Position was by Namco. Those are the first tastes of my experience. On NES, not many racing games I like. Most of them, they look really. That's why like games like Grand Race, I was like, I don't know. As a result, I was not interested in racing on NES. Well, kind of. But they're very short and not interested in me. On the Super Nintendo, same problem, except this one. This is the only game that got my attention and really want to play this game. There's other racing games such as Top Gear, Super Mario Kart, but again, they feel too slow and not interesting to me. Well, at least in my opinion. I like my type of racing. I want it fast-paced, fast action, drifting. I just want pure speed, and this game is one of them. That's why it took many years to appreciate racing games. It wasn't until the Nintendo 64 that I really become a fanatic of racing games. That's why I play a lot of racing games on the Nintendo 64 and PC during the MS-DOS and the Windows early days. That's when I started interested. But it took a while. It all started in this game, in consoles, as this one right here. In this game, you play as Captain Falcon. Yes, Captain Falcon. I know it's Falcon, but in Japan it's Falcon. I don't know if you can tell the label, but if you look closer on the blue Falcon, you can tell it's him. And the other is the fine stinger, which is Samurai Goro. There's only 4 characters. Those are, like I mentioned, Captain Falcon, Samurai Goro, Dr. Stewart is some green guy, I don't remember his name, but like a reptile, something. Yeah, that's it. The chips. Blue Falcon, Red Stinger, the yellow chip that I don't remember, and the green one that I don't remember. I only remember 2 of them. These right here. Those I remember because I used them a lot. As a result. In this game, why was in the future? Well, technology. At the time, it was really new this game was released. This is one of the few games that really pushed to the most 7 to the limit. Yeah, there's Pylovan, which uses the DBC1 chip, and the Mario Kart, which used the same chip. But again, they feel way too slow for me. Now, despite they had the S-Touch, this one used the fast-paced action. That's because they use a lot of rotation and scaling on the Mode 7. The Mode 7, again, is a layer on the Super Nintendo, was fully utilized on many games. And this is the game, it's just the first game that I noticed the most. Yeah, I know there's other games that I use, such as in Metroid, used the Tiny Effect and Demon's Crest, which was the map. Well, in this game was all the game. The entire use Mode 7. The vehicles. The vehicles is drawn by sprite. It was harder. Originally it was used by wheels, but they changed it to like a air style vehicle, so it's more or less problematic because back then making sprite was a challenge, especially on new consoles such as the Super Nintendo. And so it's a lot of challenge to make this game really nice and really appealing for the people. And this game came out in 1991. In Japan in 1990. In America, 1991. So this game is already like nearly 30 years old, believe it or not. Yeesh. So yeah. What a great game. Some people complain of this game is because it only supports 1 player. Yes, 1 player. Unlike Super Mario Kart, which supports 2 players. Me personally, I'm happy with 1 player since I love playing myself and practice myself. Because in Mario Kart, you had to have a split screen, and I was like that. I was like really impatient, and it draws the CPU of the Super Nintendo way to. Again, Mario Kart is more casual. It's more like. That doesn't mean that Super Mario Kart is good. Is not competitive. It is, but it's really slow in compared to this game. But again, it's just my own preference on racing games. As a result, don't take it too seriously on me, okay? Anyways, the music of this game is one of my favorites. I just adore the music of this game. It's instantaneous. I'll put the composer of the music since, again, I don't remember very well. Or check out the video of Gamercultr. Sadly to say it's in Spanish, I wish they speak a little English. Well, I'll put the video there, use subtitles by the way, so you can understand what he says. Great channel, so he made a review of this game of F-Zero. As well the James Parish video of F-Zero. So check out the video if you're interested. So the music is just gorgeous, it's just superb. And one of my favorites is Port Town, Big Blue, Mute City, Fire Field, and my most memorable that I remember them all, Death Wind, which was the most harder track in my opinion, because the vehicle moves back and forth and you have to control it, and it's super fast, especially in Legendary League mode, which is really hard. Trying to beat this game with the yellow car, good luck with that, unless you're skilled. As a result, it was a lot of tension. So yeah, it is. I'm gonna play this game for you guys using my CRT you see behind me. Finally at my house, because the last time I was in my buddy's house in Donkey Kong Country 3. Well, this time I'm using this monitor. I hope so. So, anyways, to the game. hope you liked the video entirely as a result. It wasn't easy for good reason, since the TV I have behind here started to get a lot of troubles. Sometimes it works fine, and sometimes it squishes the images like a letterbox. And so I have to adjust the monitor quite a lot of times, but I think it's time to update it with a new monitor, but unfortunately I'll wait for another time necessarily. And it's the only one that has SD. Like I mentioned in my update video previously, it broke. So I have to use this one. But this one is alright, but it's a little more unreliable than anything. So but I will manage to put it to work. What I think about F-Zero, it's still awesome. It's still an amazing game. I know my thing prefer Super Mario Kart, but I prefer this one due to the speed. Plus, I really like. Plus, F-Zero is one of my favorite franchises. I'm also with Metroid and Donkey Kong. And of course, I really love the character, Captain Falcon. It's like a superhero to me when I look at him. And of course, unfortunately, I don't know what happened. I did review way long back ago the GP Legend Game Boy. It was the last North American release of this franchise, GP Legend. The climax was the last in Japan on the Game Boy Advance. And since, no more F-Zero. Since it was successful on the Super Nintendo, then released the X version, which was alright, but it was eclipsed by Mario Kart 64. Then released GX, which is considered the best and the most difficult of the franchise. Unfortunately, again, eclipsed by Mario Kart. If Mario Kart always seems to eclipse other racing games by Nintendo. And when they release on handhelds, again, eclipsed by, you guessed it, Mario Kart Circuit. And as a result, the F-Zero getting less and less and less and less, well, successful on sales. Despite they're good, on sales, Nintendo was like, nah. Yeah, and at last, no more F-Zero. And I'm like, why? This gun is, I know, and that's why Mario Kart is all there all the time and no F-Zero. And most gamers want to know about this franchise. Luckily, you can play Captain Falcon. Well, not in this franchise, but in Smash Brothers and Falcon Punch and Falcon Kick, and of course the infamous show you the moves. Anyways, F-Zero still cannot deny it's still one of the best games, if not the best racing games on the Super Nintendo, at least in my opinion. So let me know in the comments which is your favorite racing game on the Super Nintendo or others. I'd love to see your opinions about it. Well, that's about it on my episode. Oh, and I'm gonna show you. You ask, where's the expansion pack you told in the Donkey Kong free video? Well, let me grab the Finimajig on the shelf. Just give me a second. This is the expansion pack I told you before. This is it. This is the piece that I need. I had the expansion pack, but of course, since I mentioned the N64 still not working, as a result, luckily my friend Dylan has the expansion pack and the game Donkey Kong 64, so I can review it. But also I want to review this little guy right here, because there's a lot of stories about the expansion pack. There's a true secret behind this little guy right here in Donkey Kong 64 and most games. It was during the time when Donkey Kong was released and the N64 was moving forward in the early 2000s. So I'm gonna talk about this game, this little guy, very soon in the future. So you have to wait on that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, click the like button. If not, well, you know what to do. If you want more content, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon to know which video is coming up soon. So anyways, see you next time. Take care, everybody.